Hi guys, I'm Shandor, welcome to my cinema. Today I'm watching the 1962 political thriller The Manchurian Candidate starring Frank Sinatra, Laurence Harvey, and Leigh. I think this movie is based on a novel, and also I think it's about a sleeper agent or multiple sleeper agents. Sleeper agents are like brainwashed people who are living, their normal lives until some sort of a thing happens, everybody has a signal, and then suddenly they're under a mission, which is really interesting. This actually exists, unfortunately. I don't know if it's still a thing, but it used to be. I think it's a fascinating concept. So I'm actually really interested in this movie, and I heard that this is really good. So I'm up for it. Anyway, here comes The Manchurian Candidate. 3, 2, 1. Korea, 1952. Okay, so the Korean War is in full swing at this point. Actually, technically, North and South Korea are still at war with each other. They just have a ceasefire.
Our lovable Sergeant Shaw.
All right, let's go, you men. Come on.
Party pooper.
Let's go.
That sucks. Russians? I mean, yeah, Russians were aiding the North Koreans, and the United States was aiding South Korea. Oh, so that guy is shady. That's Frank. Honestly, I thought that this movie was going to be in color. But I don't mind black and white at all.
This is why his presence, or the presence of any Medal of Honor winner, is sufficient to bring generals to their feet saluting.
Okay, so we're like 53, 54, I think. Because the Korean War ended in 53.
One who has devoted his life to the service of his country.
You did this, Mother.
That's horrible.
Organized this disgusting three-ring circus. Johnny Iceland's boy, Medal of Honor winner. That should get you another 50,000 votes.
Raymond, I'm your mother. How can you talk to me this?
That's the truth.
Did single-handedly save the lives of 9 members of his patrol, capturing an enemy machine gun nest, and taking out in the process a full company of enemy infantry.
That's pretty badass.
A gift from the Citizens for Iceland Committee for his last birthday. It absolutely saved our lives during the campaign. You see, this opens up into a double bed.
Like, the dichotomy of this. They're living all this luxury life, and their son just experienced the most horrific thing a person can experience. War.
I'm not going home with you, Mother. I'm going to New York.
Good.
What?
I've got a job on a newspaper.
Cool.
Research assistant to Mr. Hoban Gaines.
But the terrible things he's written about Johnny.
He came to interview me at the White House this morning. Afterwards, I asked him for a job. He gave it to me. We discovered that we both loathe and despise you and Johnny. And that's the beginning.
Yeah, I can see that.
The war in Korea was over. Captain, now Major Bennett Marco, had been reassigned to Army intelligence in Washington. The Major was plagued by the same reoccurring nightmare.
He's in horrible shape.
Stop.
Stop him? Stop who?
And very poor specimens, or perhaps none at all, in the valleys.
Okay, they're the guys in the
Formerly, we
platoon.
used to consider sheltered valley, but the avoidance of late spring and early autumn frost
This must
enjoyed
be a
by
dream or
sites
something.
with good air drainage have the same characteristics. Two of them do not share the quality of
This is
producing
fascinating
new flowers in
cinematography-wise, but
mineral-rich soil.
what is this? Picture of Stalin. What?
I have conditioned them, or brainwashed them, which I understand is the new American word,
What?
to believe that they are waiting out a storm in the lobby of a small hotel in New Jersey.
What?
To have a little fun in the selection of bizarre tobacco substitutes.
Holy crap, this is...
Are you enjoying your cigarette, Ed? May I present the famous Raymond Shaw?
Young man, you've flown 8,000 miles to this dreary spot in Manchuria to see. Raymond, pull your chair over here by me, please.
So he's also... Okay.
Experiments in the hypnotic production of antisocial and self-injurious behavior. Orwell's 1941 paper, which was titled, I believe, Experiments in the Hypnotic Production of Crime.
May I have the bayonet, please?
Not with the knife, with the hands.
Wow.
With the hands.
Here, have him use this.
Ah, da.
Okay, the editing in this is fantastic.
Raymond,
Because we get to see what the soldiers see and what is actually going on. It's very different.
now then, Raymond, take this scarf and strangle Ed Mavoli to death.
Yes, ma'am.
This is scary. This is shocking, honestly, because I know that this can be done. Oh, and now he woke up. Okay.
Have any other ex-members of your patrol had similar dreams?
No, sir, not to my knowledge. Raymond Shaw, his life, his background, his habits, his friends and associates have been under scrupulous examination. His stepfather is a United States Senator. His mother is head of 15 different patriotic organizations.
Okay.
Raymond Shaw himself is employed as confidential assistant to Holborn Gaines, the most respected political journalist in America. Raymond Shaw is the kindest, bravest, warmest, most wonderful human being I've ever known in my life.
Major Marco was suffering a delayed reaction to 18 months of continuous combat in Korea. Major Marco be temporarily reassigned to less strenuous and, if I may say so, less sensitive duties.
I have here a list of the names of 207 persons who are known by the Secretary of Defense as being members of the Communist Party that you no longer have my confidence.
Why, you're an idiot if you ask me. You're out of your mind.
Man, I hate politics. I hate politics.
Get out of here.
104 card-carrying communists in the Defense Department at this time.
How many, sir?
You said,
275.
okay, he's lying. First he said 207, now 145, and then 275. He's also having these nightmares. The exact same nightmare. All of these guys have been brainwashed.
Captain Marco, you be good enough to lend Raymond your pistol, please.
Yes, ma'am.
This is horrifying,
Thanks, man.
honestly.
Sure, kid.
Shoot Bobby, Raymond. Through the forehead.
Yes, ma'am.
Without hesitation.
Wake up, it's all right.
So this actually happened. I'm pretty sure it's happened.
Anybody can help me. He can.
You like him a lot, don't you?
Raymond Shaw is the bravest, kindest, warmest, most wonderful human being I've ever known in my life.
Same thing. He's saying the same thing. Okay, that's all programmed. Man, this is fascinating and scary as heck. Actually, I've heard some rumors, if you will, and obviously, this is not confirmed at all, that even John Lennon's murderer, what was his name? Chapman. I can't remember. Mark David Chapman. Even he was a sleeper agent. Obviously, it's just, it's a rumor.
Patrol where you won the medal. And the dream has a lot of Chinese people in it. And a lot of big brass for the Russian army. Well, it's pretty rough. You have to take my word for that.
Yeah, I was wondering about this because, even Frank Sinatra said that Shaw is the greatest man I've ever seen and whatever, and
Raymond Shaw, please.
Oh.
This is he.
Raymond, why don't you pass the time by playing a little solitaire?
I'm guessing that's an order. Yeah. So anyway, going back to the beginning of the movie, his platoon wasn't really pleased with him. And now suddenly he's the best. Oh, he's actually playing solitaire.
The Red Queen.
Yes, sir.
Good. 1 week from next Saturday, you will be called for at 11:10 a.m. and taken to the Timothy Swarton Sanitarium, 84 East 61st Street.
It's Mr. Shaw. He was run down in the street by a hit-and-run driver.
Okay, is he dead?
It just came over the AP.
Good heavens. Let's find out what hospital he's in and call them. See if there's anything we can do to help.
Okay, he's still alive.
When did you arrive?
I was flown in last night under embassy quota. Revolting journey. Ah, Raymond, it's nice to see you again. Attractive plant you have here.
Thank you, Doctor. It's actually a rest home for wealthy alcoholics.
Mm.
We were able to purchase it 3 years ago.
Profit? Fiscal year?
Yeah.
Beware, my dear Zilkop. Virus of capitalism's highly infectious. Soon you'll be letting money out at interest.
Yeah?
Captain Marco sent up some low flares, so it was easy to see what was happening.
Oh, the same card.
Do you realize, comrade, the implications of the weapon that has been placed at your disposal? You may remove your head bandage, Raymond. Without memory of his deed, he cannot possibly feel guilt. Nor will he, of course, have any reason to fear being caught.
Absolutely.
And having been relieved of those uniquely American symptoms, guilt and fear, outwardly normal, productive, sober, and respected member of the community. And I should say, if properly used, entirely police-proof. And after all, 2 years since the conditioning took place.
Oh, 2 years.
You want to be sure the linkages are still functioning correctly before he's turned over to his American operator. There's nothing more I can do until my specialists arrive. I had thought to spend the afternoon at Macy's. Madam Yen has given me the most appalling list.
Yeah. Capitalism sucks. Let's go to Macy's.
All right, if you insist on this foolishness, have him kill one of your own people here on a sealed floor.
I would, gladly. But our table organization happens to be under acceptable strength as it is.
If kill we must for a better New York, why should it not be his superior at the newspaper, Mr. Holborn Gay?
Wow.
That you've come here at this ridiculous hour to talk something over. You're not going to pour out your heart with the details of some sordid love affair or anything like that, are you?
No.
No, sir.
They? Who's this mysterious they?
You'll never know.
Raymond? Answer me, my boy.
This is crazy. You know, I'm absolutely fascinated by psychology, and I have a great interest in the human mind and just the undiscovered depths of the human mind. And this is a great example of, you know, how vast and fantastic the human mind is, and what a horrible weapon it can be in the wrong hand.
The medical officer in charge.
What the hell does a medical corps know about intelligence work, Milt?
Good question.
I tell you, there's something phony going on. There's something phony about me, about Raymond Shaw, about the whole Medal of Honor business.
Yeah.
I said Raymond Shaw is the kindest, warmest, bravest, most wonderful human being I've ever known in my life.
Which is not true, is it?
Raymond's hard to like. He's impossible to love. Be one of the most repulsive human beings I've ever known in all of my life.
Find yourself a girl, lie in the sun.
I absolutely refuse.
It is an order.
Yes, sir.
Well, I guess he's gonna start investigating.
Good night, Ben.
Yeah, this is great. I really enjoy this. At the same time, I'm horrified. God, he's in rough shape. Really rough shape. Hey, Janet.
You in the railroad business?
Not anymore. However, if you will permit me to point out, when you ask that question, you really should say, are you in the railroad line? Where's your home?
I'm in the Army. I'm a major. What's your name?
Eugenie?
Nice name.
Pardon?
No kidding, I really mean it. Crazy French pronunciation and all. Of the two names, I've always favored Rosie, because it smells of brown soap and beer.
Is she a secret agent?
Eugenie is somehow more fragile.
Marco.
Major Marco. Are you Arabic?
No.
Let me put it another way. Are you married?
Ah.
No. You?
No.
Well then.
apartment 3B. Can you remember that?
Yes.
Suggestive?
You were the guide and interpreter to the patrol.
Yes, sir, Mr. Shaw.
What can I do for you?
He's a double A.
I need job.
Job?
Yes, sir, Mr. Shaw.
But my dear fellow, we don't need interpreters here.
Because you're a great man who saved my life.
No. So he's the American connection, huh?
I'd be a lot happier if we could just settle on the number of communists I know there are in the Defense Department.
Yeah.
It makes me look like some kind of a nut, like an idiot.
Because that's exactly what you are.
Well, you're going to look like an even bigger idiot if you don't get in there and do exactly what you're told. So just stop talking like an expert all of a sudden and get out there and say what you're supposed to say.
I hate her so much.
There are exactly 57 card-carrying members of the Communist Party.
He's such a muppet. Oh. Instantly. I don't think Sinatra even knows who he
What's
is.
Raymond doing with his hand?
He just has this instinct. How come that this fight scene is better filmed and edited than most fight scenes nowadays in action movies?
What was Raymond doing with his hands? What were you doing there? What was Raymond doing with his hands? What were you doing there? What were you?
I've got to find Raymond. Maybe he's home by now.
All right, darling, whatever you want. But first, I have something to tell you. Before I even took my coat off, I telephoned my fiancé.
Oh.
Well, I told you I wasn't married. I never said I wasn't engaged.
Great.
Well, I called up my fiancé, and he came over as soon as he could, which was instantly. And I told him I had just met you, and I gave him his ring back.
She's awkward. She's weird.
See, gentlemen, my God, you look terrible. I mean, I've never seen you look so awful.
Is it about a Russian general and some Chinese and me and the men who were on the patrol?
Yes.
How did you know that? How do you know?
Take your hand. The funny thing was, he said in his letter that I was the best friend he had in the army. I was the best friend he had in the army.
Yeah.
Why, the poor, simple boob.
Isn't that
Well, anyway,
suspicious?
that's what he wanted to tell me about his nightmare.
Have you got the letter?
No, I don't. I never keep letters.
You mean that's all he wrote? That was the end of it?
Why? Is it the same thing that you've been dreaming?
Yes. Okay. Well, that guy.
Hold the one on the right, please. Hold this one
And
too,
that
please.
too. Okay. Maybe now they're gonna take him seriously.
1 hour ago, your friend, Mr. Alan Melvin, in Wainwright, Alaska, made the same 2 photographs.
Yep.
His name, incidentally, is Berizovo. He's a member of the Central Committee.
I'm going to recommend setting up a joint intelligence CIA FBI unit based out of New York. You'll work with them representing the Army.
Raymond Shaw is the kindest, bravest, warmest, most wonderful human being you've ever met in your life.
It's a terrible thing to hate your mother. But I didn't always hate her. When I was a child, I only kind of disliked her. Thomas Jordan's daughter, that's her. Josie. Years later, I realized, Ben, that I am not very lovable. And no, don't contradict me. It was the summer just before I went into the army. And I was bitten by this snake.
I mean, I think he's just simply and uncomplicatedly afraid of snakes, period, which is why I happen to be riding around with a razor blade and a bottle of potassium permanganate solution.
That is one fine lady.
Seriously, Daddy is going to be just thrilled about this.
I'm starting to get thrilled.
Jill, don't move. That's very important. I'll be right back with the car in a minute.
Normal. Well, I must say there's a good chance you're going to live.
Miss
Jordan.
Miss Jocelyn Jordan.
That's how they met?
How'd you do?
We were told that that was the summer camp of Senator Iceland.
Johnny stays there sometimes, sir. When he gets too drunk for my mother to allow him to be seen in Washington.
I once found it necessary to sue your mother for defamation of character and slander. My name is Thomas Jordan, Senator Thomas Jordan. It's her tendency to refer to anyone who disagrees with her about anything as a communist.
Same thing nowadays. Not necessarily a communist, but whatever else.
Was the fact that I donated all of it to an organization called the American Civil Liberties Union.
I've seen that guy somewhere. I've seen him in some other movie.
I would very much like to ask your permission, sir, to marry Jocelyn.
Ah!
You just cannot believe, Ben, how lovable the whole damn thing.
You know what? This gives such a great depth to his character.
All summer long we were together.
I think this whole sequence is fantastic.
How would you see her? They live in New York.
I'm getting a job in New York.
You have your army service.
Next spring. I might be dead by next spring.
Yeah.
Raymond and I and Johnny and every freedom-minded American.
She won, of course.
Yeah.
She always does. I could never beat her.
She's a manipulator. Basically, he's been manipulated all his life. And now, it's even worse.
I'm not lovable.
He's doing such a great job in this
I
movie.
love her. I did love her. I do love her.
Yeah, he's so fantastic. But like, seriously, this whole sequence was so important, I think. Because it humanizes him, you know?
Why don't you pass the time by playing a little solitaire?
Oh.
So he
Here,
says to me,
cards, please.
Oh. That was by accident, wasn't it?
Sorry I'm late, kid. Got held up in traffic, you know.
Again. So I says to him, please do me a favor, will you? Why don't you go and take
there's the
yourself
card.
a cab and go up to Central Park and go jump in the lake?
Well, I wonder what he's gonna do now. He didn't get clear orders. Or did he take what the bartender said as orders? I guess so. Yes, he actually did that. But that means that anybody could give him orders, you know, if they know the code.
What's the matter with you?
I don't know.
I was standing next to you at the bar and you were playing a game of solitaire. Do you remember that?
I don't remember, Ben. I just don't remember.
I remember what you were doing with your hands. You were...
Yes.
Of course.
Cards. Yeah, I was wondering about that.
The Queen of Diamonds is reminiscent in many ways of Raymond's dearly loved and hated mother.
Tom Jordan's daughter, Jocelyn. You remember her, hon? That mousy little girl Raymond was so attracted to that summer at the lake. I have word she'll be coming home soon. And when she does, I think we should give a little party.
I hate her so much.
You're very, very good at a great many things, but thinking, hon, just simply isn't one of them. Why don't you pass the time by playing a little solitaire?
What? Hang on a second. Does she... Is she on it?
I'll be right out.
Who's in there with you, anyway?
Raymond.
Well, hurry it up, will you? We got work to do out here.
Does she know what she's doing here, or is it just a coincidence? Oh. Josie. Is this on purpose?
I would spend every cent I own and all I could borrow to block you.
Good. Good.
I think if John Iceland were a paid Soviet agent, he could not do more to harm this country than he's doing now.
That's a burn.
I will bring impeachment proceedings against your husband on the floor of the United States Senate.
I have a feeling he's gonna die.
Congratulations, Mrs. Shaw.
Thank you,
My God, then isn't she beautiful, though? Isn't she? And am I not the luckiest guy in the world? I mean, the whole world.
Well, you would be if...
Groucho Marx. Ben, I just made a joke. Not a very good joke, I admit, but a joke.
Poor guy.
Raymond is sick, Mrs. Shaw. In a kind of a special way. He doesn't even realize it himself.
Yeah.
Sick? He's not sick. He's the healthiest man I've ever seen in my whole life. You can tell that by just looking at him.
That's not the kind of sick I mean. I'll give you 48 hours. You have him back here day after tomorrow. I'll talk to him then. After that, we'll see.
Oh, thank you, Ben. Thank you, and God bless you.
I now charge this man, Thomas Jordan, with high treason. And I assure you,
The slimy freaking bastard.
I shall move for this man Jordan's impeachment, and after that, a civil trial.
How could anyone take this guy seriously?
I'm gonna beat that vile, slandering son of a numbskull to a bloody pulp.
I don't think so. I hope so, but I don't think so.
Darling, something very important has come up. There is something you have to do.
She knows about all this.
Raymond, my boy.
I was right. He's gonna die.
Josie waited up as long as she could. She turned in about 1:45. Why are you carrying a pistol? Raymond, what are you...
This is horrible. Wow.
Raymond, no! Raymond, darling!
Wow. Jesus. Jesus Christ. And he has no idea. And his mom is in on it. Is he crying? I think so. So he must know somewhere in his unconscious. Right?
It doesn't say.
I know. It wasn't Raymond that really did it.
Yeah.
In a way, it was me.
I'm actually mad.
Ben, it's for you.
I'm actually mad. Poor guy really doesn't deserve this.
I'm in a hotel room. Across from the garden. 8th Avenue side. Room 4. Who killed Josie Ben?
It was you.
Tell me, I've got to know.
All right. Now let's start unlocking a few doors.
The patrol was taken by a Russian airborne unit and flown by helicopter. We were worked on for 3 days by a team of specialists from the Pavlov Institute in Moscow. Part light-induced, part drugs.
Never mind all that. Not now.
US did the same thing.
Tell me what else happened at Tongwa.
I strangled Edna Vody and shot Bobby Lembeck.
Yes, you did. Wow, that tick. I love this movie. This is incredible.
Then I killed Mr. Gaines. It was just a test. Jumping in the lake. It really did happen. It was an accident. Then I killed Senator Jordan.
And Josie.
You ought to forget everything that happened at the senator's house. Do you understand, Raymond? You'll only remember it when I tell you so. You ought to forget about it. Do you understand? Now the big one.
Who?
Why? Why is all of this being done?
Or that?
What have they built you to do?
I don't know. Nobody really knows except that it's over in Moscow. And my American operator here.
Yes.
They can make me do anything, Ben. Can't they?
Yes.
So the Red Queen is our baby.
Yeah. Can he reprogram him?
52 Red Queens and me are telling you. You know what we're telling you? It's over. The links, the beautifully conditioned links, are smashed.
Okay.
They're smashed as of now because we say so. Anybody invites you to a game of solitaire, you tell them, sorry, Buster, the ball game is over.
I love this scene so much. And now they're probably calling.
It's time for my American operator to give me the plan.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I understand, Mother.
It's his mom. I thought he was the Korean guy.
The convention's adjourned. It reconvenes at 9 for the acceptance speeches.
How can a mother go so
I don't think anything
far?
will happen until then.
I've got 500 people at my disposal, 1,000 if I need them. You call me at that number. Try to call me by 8:30.
It's been decided that you will be dressed as a priest to help you get away in the pandemonium afterwards. Chun-Jin will give you a 2-piece Soviet Army sniper's rifle that fits nicely into a special bag.
Beautiful.
You are to shoot the presidential nominee through the head. And Johnny will rise gallantly to his feet, fighting off anyone who tries to help him, defending America even if it means his own death, rallying a nation of television viewers into hysteria to sweep us up into the White House with powers that will make martial law seem like anarchy. After he begins his acceptance speech, depending on his reading time under pressure.
She's doing such a fantastic job, by the way. I mean, she's a great villain. A great, great villain, but I hate her so much. That's not a mother. That's not a human being, even.
But you must believe I did not know it would be you.
Come on.
I served them. I fought for them. I'm on the point of winning for them the greatest foothold they will ever have in this country. I told them to build me an assassin. I wanted a killer from a world filled with killers, and they chose you. Because they thought it would bind me closer to them.
Oh, that makes sense.
Then when I take power, they will be pulled down and ground into dirt for what they did to you.
Nah. You're too small for that. No. Just like, no. Okay, so I'm wondering if he is aware of what he's doing now. Obviously, Ben made him forget what he did to his wife and his father-in-law. But I wonder if he knows about everything else.
Why hasn't he called? It's a calculated risk, Ben. You were right to take it.
Even if it's not true, it's nice of you to say it. Okay, Milt, I blew it. I blew it. My magic is better than your magic. Raymond was theirs, he is theirs, and he'll always be there.
Apparently, yes, but maybe not.
Let's get the hell out of here.
All right, then let's go.
The great thing is, I have no idea how this is going to end. You know? Because nowadays, yeah, most movies are so predictable, but this could end in a couple of ways, honestly. And there's really no happy ending here, anyway. In a way, this is a really, really tragic movie.
It is with great humility, albeit with enormous pride, and if I may be permitted a phrase of my own, the years of striving in defense of his freedom.
Amazing tension building here. Amazing. Wow. Wow. I was hoping this was gonna happen, but I didn't think it... that's... wow.
You couldn't have stopped them. The army couldn't have stopped them.
True.
So I had to. Oh, God, Ben.
Yeah. No wonder. Really. Wow.
Pulled 2 of his wounded men to safety amid 69 dead and 203 casualties. Hold him, man.
Yeah, didn't happen.
Hell. Hell.
Well, guys, this was the Manchurian Candidate. Okay, this was amazing. Not a single boring second in this movie. This was riveting. I was just glued to the screen. all the time. This movie just kept my attention, always. I'm actually surprised how emotionally painful this movie was, because just based on the concept, I thought that this was gonna be just like a political thriller, which it is, but I did not expect to get such a great character depth here, and just the emotional weight of this movie and just the tragic nature of it. I think that really added another layer to all of this really, really well made and well written and incredibly acted movie. I'm very much interested in how the human mind works, and these kind of experiments were indeed, or had been indeed done. Actually, I wouldn't be surprised if these kind of things still happen now. Or these kind of things are still happening now. And obviously in the movie it was done by the Russians, but the US did the same, okay? They were no better, okay? And I wouldn't really even have to call them experiments because they were successful, which is the crazy, crazy part. I don't know if it's true, but when Robert Kennedy was assassinated by a guy called Sirhan, I think, I read some articles about it, and I think the guy said when he was asked, like, why did you do it? He said, I don't really know, sir. I don't even really remember. So maybe even he was a sleeper agent. Now, I might be completely off about this, okay? So, but yeah, these kind of things did actually happen, and most likely they are still happening now. I don't know. Also, this movie is a great example of just never trust a politician, or more like watch what they do and not listen to what they say. Never trust a politician, seriously. All of them are slimy, lying bastards. But yeah, what a fantastic movie. Incredible. The acting was out of this world. And this is such a tragic movie, which was really, really surprising. But at the same time, like I said, I think it added such a great emotional layer to all of this. Yeah, I enjoyed every minute of this movie, even though the subject matter is really, really sad and frightening, actually. So that's all I can say. I think this movie is a freaking masterpiece. Honestly, the book must be fantastic. If the movie is this good, the book must be 2 or 3 times better. So maybe I should read it, actually. But yeah, incredible. I loved it. Incredible. Guys, thank you so much for watching this movie together with me. If you enjoyed this video, please hit like and subscribe, and see you next time at the cinema. Bye.